What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. You guys should know the deal by now. I'm Patrick Hennessy. If it's your first time, I'm Patrick Hennessy. Nice to meet you. Listen, Trevor Bauer just signed with the Dodgers. I think Heyman was the first one to report on it. Then Rosenthal and Passan kind of followed suit. I don't think there's any specific numbers out yet as to how much he got. But listen, the Dodgers are fucking stacked. Like, looking at their rotation right now, Buehler, Kershaw, Bauer, Urias, Price. I forgot David Price even existed. And he's their number 5. So listen, I don't know what to say. Except exactly what Kevin just said, Yankees in 7. Like, I don't care. I still think the Dodgers made a great counter move to what the Padres have done, right? Because the Padres have had an awesome offseason. Blake Snell, Yu Darvish, Joe Musgrove. But still, I think the Dodgers kind of put themselves back over the Padres, just like CJ, you said earlier, Dodgers are better than the Padres again. Yeah, I would probably say so. But, big but, Bauer's no sure option. I think it's important for everyone to remember that. While Bauer is fresh off a Cy Young season, and he's an amazing pitcher, don't get me wrong, he's still not a sure thing. It's not like they're acquiring a guy who's had consistent Cy Young seasons every year for the past 3 years, right? He's been kind of inconsistent over the past few years. I think in 2019 he even had like a 4-year ERA. But still, like, I don't want to like diss the Dodgers for this move. I think it's an awesome deal that they needed to make. And listen, also they're coming fresh off a World Series win, and they're still going for it. The Yankees, who haven't won the World Series since 2009, we went out this offseason. We got 2 pitchers who haven't pitched in 2 years. The Dodgers just won last year, and they go out and get the NL Cy Young. Shit. What happened to him going to the Mets? Asked Johnny. That's a really good question. I wish I could tell you, because I know Bob Nightingale reported last night that Bauer was going to the Mets, and then instantly Mark Feinsand was like, nah, that's just not happening. So yeah, listen, I'm never trusting another Bob Nightingale tweet in my life. I don't know why I trusted him somewhat last night, but I think I've learned my lesson to just never do it again. Taillon is going to be better than Bauer Weep. Do you really think so, Ryan? Because I get it. Like, Taillon and Kluber, like, they have upside, but it's also at the same time, like, we're banking on dudes that haven't pitched in 2 years. So I get Taillon has the potential to be really good, but it's impossible to bank on him at this point. What is the deal, CJ? I have no idea. I don't think numbers came out, but I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere in like that 3-year, $100 million range. Just saying. Well, Padres have fun in the wild card game. Damn, can you, listen, it's very possible that the Padres win 100 games and still have to play the wild card game. Because looking at the way this Dodgers team is built right now, there's no chance that they don't win 100 games. Unless they have, serious injuries. But that's a Yankee thing. So, I don't really see the Dodgers not winning the division. Yeah, because Tyone is built different, Bauer isn't. I don't know. I know you don't like Trevor Bauer, Ryan. I know that. But I would say that dude is built different. I would say Trevor Bauer is built different. I respect the fuck out of Trevor Bauer. I know he gets kind of corny sometimes, but I kind of love the whole shtick he's got going on. I think he's going to be perfect in LA too. Listen, I know a lot of people are clowning on the Dodgers right now, especially once the numbers come out, they're going to be overpay. Shut up. Because if the Yankees would have signed Trevor Bauer, we would all be thrilled right now. You guys, everyone knows that. If the Yankees signed Trevor Bauer, I don't care how much money, we would all be ecstatic. Because when you add the NL Cy Young to your roster, you don't care how much money you spend. Especially if it's only for a 3-year deal. Who cares? Genuinely, who cares? Would you rather see him go to the Dodgers than the Mets? Nick, to be honest, I would have rather seen him go to the Dodgers. Only because if he went to the Mets, you know that the Mets would then become the big brother to the Yankees. It would be a given at that point. We're honestly getting close to the Yankees becoming little brother. Just saying. Cohen, we got Bauer. We're better than the Dodgers. Dodgers, are you sure about that? That's crazy. This offseason, I don't know why. I just feel we have a lot more miscommunication than usual. I the whole Michael Brantley thing. Remember? Oh, Michael Brantley signed with the Blue Jays. 2 hours later, he signed with the Astros. Okay. We had to play a wild card game after winning 99 games. That's exactly what I'm saying. Because the Red Sox, I could definitely see the Dodgers having a 2018 Red Sox type of year. Just the way they're built. The Dodgers are built different. Ryan, if you want to talk about people being built different, damn. Dude, Dodgers really got that bread. They really do. And the thing is, the Yankees have, more bread than that. They just don't want to spend it. The Yankees easily could have signed Trevor Bauer this offseason. I don't care what anybody says. They would have gone over the luxury tax. Okay, you pay a little bit more money. But they easily could have done it. Yeah. So Passon just said they're in agreement on a 3-year deal that has opt-outs after years 1 and 2. That's an awesome deal for both sides. Just saying. Yes, we would, Patrick, but we would also hear you're buying a championship. That's true. But at the end of the day, I'd rather have people say that we bought a championship and we actually won one than, whatever. I think the Yankees are gathering a bunch of eggs, starting pitchers in their basket, hoping to take a big step forward. Yeah, and that's the thing. We're banking on a lot of guys who don't really have a recent track record of health and consistency. Corey Kluber, Jameson Taillon. We're talking about two guys that literally haven't pitched in 2 years. I know I keep saying it, and I was a big guy on the Corey Kluber train, right? But, looking at it now, it's the dude's no Trevor Bauer. We knew that. So, I hope that Kluber and Taillon do well, but it's not really expected at this point. Listen, I think the Yankees are just hoping to get whatever they can out of them. That's really what they're looking for. They're looking for some innings, and hopefully they could return to some sort of form that they were prior to injuries. If George Steinbrenner were in charge, the Yankees would have thrown tons of money at him. Bro, if George Steinbrenner was still around, Trevor Bauer would have been a Yankee before Christmas. You guys know that, right? Trevor Bauer would have been a Yankee before Christmas. Where's Logan in the chat, by the way? I think Logan Ryan, his name is, because he's a Dodger fan that tunes into the live a bunch. I want to hear his input on the whole situation. I think the Dodgers are going to beat the all-time win record now. What's the all-time win record again? The 98 Yankees had what? 118 maybe? I don't remember. But yeah, listen, they definitely have potential. How should we be ashamed for letting Bauer go to the World Series defending Dodgers? He didn't even give him a shot. He literally didn't give him a shot. Wait, what's that, Ryan? They paid him $40 million in 2021 and $45 in 2022. No way. Who said that? 45 mil? Oh, so it's for 102 guaranteed for 40 mil in 2021 and 45 in 2022. He can opt out after each year, meaning him like 40 million if he opts out this year, 85 if he does so after 2022, and 102 if he stays all three. Wow. 45 million. That dude's not opting out. I mean, unless he wants like more security and he could get like a 7-year deal for like 250, I don't know, but shit, 45 million. I mean, now I'm kind of speechless, not gonna lie. But let me go back up to see some of the comments. If we play them in the World Series, I'm gonna be scared. Yeah, bro, that rotation is gonna be filthy, like absolutely filthy. I was joking about Tyone. We're basically waiting to get our heads bashed in by the Dodgers. They're incredible. My God, no, Ryan. Yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it right now. I really do think that we would be absolutely fucked. At least now Cohen can use that money to find a fitness trader. He looking like AJ. For those of you who don't get that joke, for those of you who don't watch the Twitch streams, because that's where that comes from, my friend AJ, we always just joke on him for being fat. So, yeah, that's where that comes from. How much over the cap are the Dodgers? I'm not too sure, but I'm assuming a decent amount. But how much is... He's getting $40 million in 2021. So, probably a decent amount over the cap, yeah. And they have to be $100 million over the tax? Listen, I have no idea. On the other hand, if George is still around, Cashman would have been fired 3 times over 20 years. Listen, I don't know about that. I could definitely see maybe Cashman would have been gone after, like, 2012 or, like, 2013. But, yeah, I don't know. Because Cashman was always, like, a Steinbrenner guy, you know? Let's see. The signing is going to light a fire underneath Kluber and Tyone. They're going to come back better. Listen, I don't think there's any doubt that Kluber and Tyone both want to come back at full strength, right? But the thing with health is, like, you can't always do what you want to do, right? So, obviously, they want to come back and they want to perform at the best possible level. But if they run into another injury, there's nothing they could really do about that, you know? Wow, that's crazy. I thought he was going to the Mets. Listen, Janador, I thought he was too. Last night when Bob Nightingale said he was going to the Mets, stupid me, I actually believe Bob Nightingale. That's why he's on the bozo list. He was on the bozo list all night last night, like an absolute bozo. Everyone was saying he would sign with the Mets just so the Dodgers would give him more money because he said he didn't want to play in New York. Listen, it would have been kind of cool to see Trevor Bauer in New York because, bro, I live like 15 minutes from Citi Field. The Mets are still going to be an awesome team. They're still going to be a fun team. But missing Trevor Bauer, that's going to hurt. Because I know a lot of fans that were fully expecting Trevor Bauer to become a Met, especially after what happened last night. So, yeah. I do not blame Cashman for not giving him 40 to 45 mil. I don't either. Holy shit. Passan just said the Mets offered more value than the Dodgers? Jesus. So how much did the Mets offer him? 3 years, 150? Wow. So basically, he took less overall value to go to the Dodgers. I guess it's because, like, the first 2 years of the Dodger deal are massive, and then he's likely just going to opt out after that. So I would probably consider it like a 2-year deal. 2 years, what is that, like 89 million, 85 million? 2 years, 85 million, I guess. Because I doubt he stays that third year. Oh, do we even know the numbers for the third year of how much the salary would even be? The Yankees are disappointing. They're the fucking Yankees. I know, and it's kind of weird because I talked about this in our Unhinged group chat last night when, like, the whole Bauer to the Mets thing was going on. I was like, if Bauer actually goes to the Mets will have pulled off a typical Yankees offseason. Go out, get all the big stars, and just assemble a fucking dominant-ass team, right? We're talking the Mets got Bauer. They would have gotten Bauer, Lindor, Carrasco, James McCann, Trevor May. I'm definitely missing some people, but they've had an awesome offseason. And Lucchesi, that another awesome pitcher. But and then the Yankees are going out and getting like the guys who are quote unquote washed up, like Kluber, Taillon, Darren O'Day. Those are typical guys the Mets would be going after. So the roles have kind of swapped very drastically. Bauer is smart enough to know that World Series wins go a long way toward Hall of Fame aspirations. That's true. Bauer wants to win a World Series, and who better to go to than the defending World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers? Oh, whoa. Mets fan got pranked again. Listen, shout out to Mets fans, because I kind of feel for you. Like, imagine last night we got news like, oh, Trevor Bauer's going to the Yankees. And then 24 hours later, just kidding, he's going to the Dodgers. I would be so depressed. Like, I'd love to get like a Mets fan on here right now and just like console them, give them like a little therapy session. The Dodgers will be major favorites each of the next 2 years to win the World Series. Oh, for sure. For sure. Do you think the Yankees are going to be good? I think the Yankees are going to be good. I still would say they're the favorite to come out of the American League. Now, the White Sox might give them a run for their money. The Rays, the Blue Jays, even like the Astros to a point. Thank you for liking the stream, Jorge. Appreciate you. But yeah, I think we might be finally looking at a Yankees-Dodgers World Series, but it's confusing. I say this offseason was a fail for the Mets, being that they didn't get everything they wanted. They missed out on all the top free agents. I know they got Lindor, but still expected them to get more. I would agree partially. I think Lindor and Carrasco were huge. If they didn't get Carrasco in the Lindor deal, I would say they'd really be kicking themselves for missing out on Bauer. And I know they missed out on Springer too, but still, I would still say it was a pretty successful offseason for the Mets, with all things considered. Yo, what's going on, Parker? Parker. Okay, question. I know on Twitch your name is Colella Parker, but on here it's Parker Colella. What do you prefer to be called, Parker or Colella? Let me know. The Yankees scout at Med Express. No, the Yankees scouts are literally standing outside of First Med, just like waiting, like asking, like, hey, you have any injuries? Like, you want to like come by? Like, you know, we could try you out. Thanks for liking the stream, Nick. Appreciate you. Yo, what's going on, Johnny? How we doing today? They were already favorites. Now they're just never mind. Words can't even describe. Listen, I get it. I do get it. I understand how a lot of people like are kind of throwing in the towel for the season already and being like, "Oh, the Dodgers are so good." Let's all remember this is baseball. This is one of the sports where even if you assemble a super team, that doesn't guarantee anything. Like the one situation I love to bring up, because when there were rumors earlier on in the offseason about Bauer going to the Dodgers, people were like, listen, if he goes to the Dodgers, just throw in the towel. And I love reminding people of the 2014 Tigers. The 2014 Tigers were unstoppable. They had a rotation of Verlander, Scherzer, Price, Porcello, and I think the 5 was Fister. Like, we're talking about like four Cy Youngs in the rotation. Arguably better than what the Dodgers have right now. And they got eliminated in the ALDS by the Orioles without Manny Machado, without Chris Davis too, I believe. So, just because the Dodgers signed Trevor Bauer, this doesn't guarantee them anything. It doesn't even guarantee them the NL West. Things happen in baseball all the time. You should still watch the season. You should still bank on things happening. I know the Dodgers look really good on paper, but don't count anybody out yet. I think the Dodgers are going to be a dynasty. Robbie, that's a fair statement. But like I just said, anything can happen in baseball. I need to look at the starting pitchers who are likely to be free agents next offseason when the Yankees will be willing to pay money again. I think we looked at it a couple days ago, and it's not that good of a class. It's a bunch of guys who are going to be out of their prime. I know Verlander is going to be a free agent. I think Kershaw is going to be a free agent. Scherzer, I believe, is going to be a free agent as well. So it's a bunch of guys who are kind of like way out of their prime. The deal reportedly include opt-outs, after the first and second seasons, which makes sense, because Bauer said he's only signing one-year deals, so this is essentially kind of like a one-year deal with a little bit more security, because if he wanted to stay in LA, he could always take that $45 million for 2022, but yeah, I can't see him staying for the third year, because we don't really know what's going on. He can opt out after each year, meaning he'll make 40 if he opts out this year, 85 if it does so after 2022, and 102 if he stays all three. Awesome deal for Trevor Bauer. And still, I would say awesome deal for the Dodgers. People could disagree with me, but yeah. LA owns baseball and basketball? Oh, yeah. I mean, imagine if the Angels were good. I'm kind of pissed Bauer didn't go to the Angels. I mean, that would have been perfect. Because he still gets to be in LA, right? Gets to be with Trout. The Angels finally get to get something going. But I feel so bad for Mike Trout. Free Mike Trout, bro. If Dodgers don't win the World Series next 2 years, or if Bauer gets injured, the Dodgers will be blasted for giving so much money for little return. It is a huge risk for LA. It is a huge risk. I agree. But sometimes these huge risks pay off. Like trading for Mookie Betts last offseason and signing him to that massive extension, I would consider that a risk, right? Because if you don't win a World Series with Mookie Betts, that's such a waste. But they did. So sometimes these risks pay off. In 2008/2009, the Yankees went out. They signed Teixeira, Sabathia, and Burnett. That was a risk. But they won the World Series that year, so the risk paid off, you know? Do you think they could re-sign Seager or Belly or even Kershaw? I don't know if they're going to re-sign Kershaw. I would say it depends on what he kind of does this year. As far as Belly, I don't think they're going to worry about re-signing him just yet. I think he has maybe 2 or 3 years before becoming a free agent. And then who else did we mention there? Seager. Seager is going to be an interesting one because he's a part of that huge shortstop free agent class next year. Out of the 3 of those guys, I could see him the one walking the most because he's going to be demanding a decent amount of money, especially if he has another awesome year. And I don't know how much money the Dodgers are going to have left to spend. I could definitely see Kershaw being the type of guy to just take multiple 1-year deals until he retires just to save the Dodgers some money moving forward. But yeah, Ken Rosenthal was right in his Dodgers pick. Yo, listen, Ken Rosenthal is usually right. Ken Rosenthal, Jeff Passan, kind of John Heyman. He was the first one to break the Bauer news. But yeah, listen, whenever you see a Bob Nightingale or a Dan Clark, just don't trust anything, please. I don't feel bad for Trout. He could have left, took the money and stayed, and I'll live with it. That's true. But it's also loyalty. I respect Mike Trout staying loyal to the Angels. They're a team that drafted him. They were the team where he basically made his career, and I guess he wanted to remain there for the rest of his career. I'm sure his family's all set up there and everything, so I guess he wanted the security and the loyalty, I guess. But he could have easily, Mike Trout could have signed with any team and gotten $400 million. Easily. He's a great talent, but we were talking about a record amount of money for a guy who is, to be fair, inconsistent from year to year. Great year, average year, good year, average year, great year. Yeah, and I prefaced that when we started live today. I said, listen, Trevor Bauer is coming off a spectacular year. But this isn't a guy who we've seen excellent years out of even 3 of the past 4 years. This is kind of an outlier year for Trevor Bauer looking at his career stats. So it's important to remember that, but still, banking on him moving forward, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say Trevor Bauer is going to be a very good pitcher, at least for the next few years. Trout likes where he is. He is all set up and doesn't want to keep switching places. Yeah, we know Mike Trout. He's just probably one of the most simple guys in the major leagues. If the crazy part is, he's probably the greatest baseball player of our generation. Well, my generation, because I was born in 2000. So, I kind of saw, the tail end of, Griffey, Jeter, A-Rod, all those guys. I wasn't really around for, their beginning and kind of their prime, I guess. But Mike Trout, bro, this is a guy, who I've seen, the entirety of his career. So, this is the best player of my generation, and a lot of people in mainstream media don't even know who he is. He could probably go to a supermarket in Los Angeles, and 9 out of 10 people will not even recognize him. It's crazy to even think of. Yeah, half the country don't even know who he is. I remember for one of my classes in school, I did a research report about how MLB is so bad with marketing their players, and there were these statistics. And Kenneth Farid, I don't know, shout out to Lauren, appreciate you for liking the stream. But there was a statistic that Kenneth Farid, the basketball player, was just as equally. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Equally known among Americans as Mike Trout. Kenneth Farid, who I would consider, I don't even think he's in the NBA anymore, but a fairly average basketball player, known just the same amount as Mike Trout, the greatest baseball player of our generation. It's crazy to think of. Want to be shocked? As great as Bauer's stats were this year, think about how many games he started. Want to guess? Only 11. Talk about a small sample size. Yes, but the thing about Trevor Bauer is he's a master marketer, and he marketed himself as the best thing since sliced bread, and he got himself a huge payday. Like, shout out to Trevor Bauer. As a Dodger fan, I'm not happy. This means Kershaw is probably not coming back after this year. But you would have preferred Kershaw over Bauer? I mean, it's interesting. How old is Kershaw anyway? Kershaw's got to be at least in his mid-30s by now, no? Oh, wow. Kershaw's actually only 32. I don't know why I just consider Clayton Kershaw so much older than that. That's actually pretty young for Clayton Kershaw. But yeah, if you would have preferred Kershaw over Bauer, I get it. Especially because he's been like a Dodger his entire life. I still could see Clayton Kershaw coming back to the Dodgers. I could still see it. Maybe they'll like trade a David Price or something. But I still think it's very possible he comes back to the Dodgers. I want him to go to the Mets because they're miles away from being a World Series rival. I mean, if the Mets would have gotten Bauer, they would have been like toe-to-toe with the Dodgers as the best in the NL. That's what I think. I mean, picture that Mets rotation if they would have gotten Bauer. We're talking DeGrom, Bauer, Stroman, Carrasco, Syndergaard. Filthy. Syndergaard's your 5. I know he's coming back for injury, but he would have been their 5 if they would have gotten Bauer. Cola's still better than Bauer. I'd agree, Johnny. I'd agree. Cola's still better than Bauer. No questions asked. Man, I kind of feel bad for the Mets. Springer and now Bauer, damn. Yeah, I mean, at least they got Lindor. Imagine if they didn't get Lindor and Carrasco. Then we would be looking at a pretty bad offseason. I could see Kershaw on the Yankees, probably. But, like, only if he has an injury-ridden year this year. That's the only way they'll sign him. Sign him for, like, 1 year, 10, 15 million, and Clayton Kershaw on the Yankees, even though he hasn't pitched in a full season. How does anyone win against his team? It's baseball. Anything can happen in baseball. Anyone who is upset the Yankees didn't pull the trigger on this deal is out of his/her mind. DJ will make you a consistent all-star and MVP is making $15 million a year. There's no universe in which I wouldn't reallocate that $40 million next 2 years to 2 all-stars versus going all in on this guy. I would agree, Matt. And the thing is, it's important now to see what the Yankees do. Because if they do just sit back and they're kind of content with this team and all they do is like sign Brett Gardner back, I think it's kind of troubling. Because while we agree that it's better to have DJ LeMahieu for $15 million a year over Trevor Bauer for $40 and then allocate that extra 25 elsewhere, let's see if they actually do allocate $25 million elsewhere. Because I don't think they will. They have like $9 million in salary space to work with right now. I'm assuming at least 5 is going to go to Brett Gardner. So then we're talking 4. I don't really know what else is going on. If Kershaw has Tommy John surgery, he'll be a Yankee. Yes, that's probably the most accurate comment I've seen all day. If Kershaw does have Tommy John surgery this year, he will be a Yankee in 2022. They'll probably give him like a 7-year deal. Padres got a good staff too. They do. But right now on paper, I would say the Dodgers are still better. But like the Padres aren't far off by any means. I still think that they're very capable of winning the division for sure. The Yankees are lucky that the Mets didn't get him. They would get so much backlash for not getting Lindor, Bauer, and letting them both go to the Mets. The Yankees would have gotten so much backlash. And I do think it's kind of crazy that all offseason we didn't even hear like any rumors at all about Trevor Bauer going to the Yankees. I thought at least we would have heard like a little sprinkle of rumors, but yeah. Let's see. If the Angels don't make it to the playoffs, they're going to have to trade Trout. I know it's far-fetched, but think about it. Does Trout have a no-trade clause? If Trout has a no-trade clause, then I don't know. Dodgers are favorites again. I would agree, Michael. I would agree they're once again favorites. Lori C is my mom. Is Lori actually your mom, Parker? Because then that's super interesting that we got like a mother combo going on in the chat right now. Yankees are not beating the Dodgers. Sorry. I could understand how people would say that, but it's like, once again, it's baseball. Anything can happen. Like, put the Yankees and the Dodgers in a 7-game series, and Trevor Bauer has one bad start, and Garrett Cole dominates. Like, anything can happen. That's the thing with baseball. It's not basketball. The Dodgers haven't built the 2016, 2017 Warriors Like, they didn't just acquire Kevin Durant onto a team that already had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. They acquired Trevor Bauer on a team that just won the World Series. Correct. But that doesn't guarantee anything in baseball. Like, just keep that in mind, please. Trout has a no-trade clause. Yeah, so I would say it's kind of unlikely he gets traded. Unless it's to a team like the Yankees where he would approve it. Just saying. Don't pay attention. Bauer's not God. Yeah, Bauer, I mean, he's not even... Would we say he's a top 3 pitcher in Major League Baseball? If I'm saying top 3 pitchers, DeGrom, Cole, maybe Bauer's 3. I would probably say Bauer's the 3rd best pitcher in baseball. Going off of 2020, yeah. Brian is so happy about Bauer signing. He's waving those bandanas because the Yankees will bring back Gardner. Ugh, Brian is so waving his bandanas right now. He's waving the bandanas and the flags. Bauer is good, doesn't scare me. Phone took a deuce, back on. Would you say David Price now gets traded? I kind of mentioned that earlier. I think it's possible. How much is David Price making this season? And are the Red Sox eating any of that contract? Because, I mean, that means a lot. All right, David Price contract. He is making $32 million in 2021. His adjusted salary, though, is $16 million. So I'm assuming the Red Sox are giving half. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So if the Red Sox are given half and the Dodgers want to trade Price, I don't know who would be a suitor for David Price at this point, though. I genuinely don't know who would trade for him. Listen, if it was DeGrom to the Dodgers, then we in trouble. Imagine. Listen, the Dodgers might just go trade for DeGrom at this point. If they do, I'd give up on the season at that point. This is as close as they can get to a guarantee. Yeah, this is probably as close as a team could get to a guaranteed World Series appearance, at least. At least. Yanks passed on Lindor for this year for Seager. Next year, would love Seager swing in Yankee Stadium. I don't think so, only because I don't know where there would be space for him, unless you're trading Gleyber. Because I'm assuming Gleyber Torres is going to be the shortstop for the foreseeable future. You got DJ at second, Gio at third. Maybe you trade Voit, move DJ to first, Gleyber back to second, and then you sign Seager for shortstop. Possibly. Depends on the year that Voit has this year. Nobody taking that Price contract? Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Yeah, Price was severely overpaid. The only difference was Price got 7 years. Bauer only got 3, which is technically only going to be like 2. So that's the huge difference here. Price's contract was awful. However, he did win the Red Sox World Series, so I guess you could say it was kind of worth it. But yeah, I don't know. DeGrom is a free agent in a couple years. Dodgers bound. Is he? I could have sworn he signed an extension like last year or the year before. I want Trevor Story. I want Trevor Story too, but apparently the Rockies aren't trading him. And if they did trade him, the Yankees would definitely have to include Gleyber Torres in the deal. And I don't know if I'd be down for that. But if you're getting Trevor Story, you might have to be. I don't know. The Mets could steal everyone from the Yanks. They stole Lindor. And now, since they didn't get Bauer, there were rumors of Hader going to the Mets. Now I think that becomes a reality. Listen, even if the Mets get Josh Hader, that's not something that's going to push them over the edge against the Dodgers. Bullpen helps, but it doesn't win seasons. It'll definitely help them, though, because right now, looking at the Mets bullpen, it's still kind of weak. Who do they have? It's Trevor May, Edwin Diaz, who's been a complete shit show for the Mets the past couple years. And then after that, I mean, Justin Wilson, is he still on the Mets? It's questionable. So, yeah, Josh Hader would definitely improve them. It wouldn't put them past the Dodgers, though. How upset you think Dodger fans would be if they don't win the World Series, let alone make it? I guess they would be upset, but I think also deep down they would be like, all right, it's fine. We just won the World Series in 2020. Given it was a shortened season, and I'm sure they would like to do it in a full year, I don't think they're going to be too upset. I know that Hader has a great track record, but his excess value is going down each year. I wouldn't trade the farm for him. I probably wouldn't trade the farm for him either, but if you only have to give up a Devy or a Schmidt in order to get him, I probably would. I wouldn't give up a Clint, though, for Hader. Same thing with Amir Garrett. I would definitely give up Devy or Schmidt for Amir Garrett. I kind of like Amir Garrett at this point over Josh Hader. I love Amir Garrett. I love his fire. I love his game. I love everything about the dude. I think he would be a perfect fit on the Yankees. He would be the perfect Tommy Kahnle energy replacement. Talk about a guy who's going to provide a spark out of the bullpen. That's Amir Garrett. I wonder if the Dodgers would be interested in a trade for Stan at season's end. They love their ever-evolving collection of bad contracts. And I like Stan, don't get me wrong. But if he has more injury issues this season, Matt, I'm going to be honest, I don't see Stan getting traded at all. No one's going to be taking on that contract, especially the Dodgers after this whole Bauer thing. There's no chance that the Dodgers take on that Giancarlo Stanton contract. There's no way. Passan said the Dodgers are busting through the luxury tax threshold. So they're $30 million over the threshold now. And they're still in talks to re-sign Justin Turner. Wow. So they're $30 million over the threshold. They genuinely don't care. They just want to win. And I kind of wish we would see that at the Yankees. Because, I don't care about the luxury tax threshold at all. Genuinely. So, shout out to the Dodgers, bro. Do you think the Yankees are going to make a decent trade for hitting? Probably not. The only thing I could see them adding on to the offense would be Brett Gardner. That would be it. I could see the Blue Jays trading for Price. Possibly. I don't know if the Blue Jays would want to spend that money, though. It's possible. It's possible they go after Price. Amir Garrett equals CeCe. Yes, Futai. That's a really good comparison because I remember on the podcast when I was with Jalen and we were talking about Amir Garrett, I just see so much of CeCe in Amir Garrett. Everything from his just demeanor on the mound to his strikeout celebrations, just the passion, the fire. I love it. I really want Amir Garrett. Oh, I really want Amir Garrett. Jays need someone, and Price did well with them. I could see them taking another flyer. Yeah, who remembers 2015? Price was dominant with the Blue Jays. That was the year where the Yankees were in full control of the East, and then the Blue Jays went out. They traded for Tulo and Price, and then absolutely demolished us the rest of the season. That was a painful year. We still made the playoffs somehow, but then the Astros killed us in the wild card game. 2015 was brutal. Pocket change for the Dodgers? No, literally. It's actual pocket change. Just to Devier Schmidt, have you seen Schmidt's recent workout videos? He's straightening out his delivery and going straight to the plate instead of crossbody. Bold prediction, he's Yanks number 4. That's bold. I don't think he's going to start the season in the majors, though. He's definitely going to start out in AAA. Just because, listen, if we would have seen him dominate kind of like Devi did last year, yeah, we might be talking about him starting the season in the majors. But he was kind of disappointing, and not only it's not his fault, he just wasn't ready. But maybe a mid-season call-up, I could definitely see Schmidt coming in and making a huge impact. He's a stud. Yeah, Jeff, he's a stud. Let him start and see. I agree. If Mets don't make the World Series or even playoffs, I think Lindor walks to see better options. Listen, I think it's very possible at this point that the Mets take the money they were going to give Bauer and just give Lindor an extension. Don't be surprised if they do that. Because they were getting ready to spend a lot of money on Trevor Bauer. Don't be surprised if they use that money on Lindor. What do you see Brian doing if the Yankees bring back Gardner other than waving bandanas dancing around? Listen, Brian's going to be the most enthusiastic person in Yankees history if they bring back Brett Gardner. He'll probably dump a gallon of milk on his head, and then following that he'll dump himself in egg yolk and then dump feathers on his head. He'll be ecstatic. Shout out to Jeff Lou for following. Appreciate you, my man. I really think his new delivery is going to make a huge difference. It's possible. I know Tyone has a new delivery as well. It's more short-armed. Hopefully that'll prevent him from getting injured again. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Garrett is a skinny CeCe. Yes, that's a great way of putting it. We talked about this. I mean, the dude's passion and aggression. I mean, if the Yankees did find a way to trade for him, which I think isn't really going to happen at this point, but if they did find a way, I would probably get on live, and you would not see me stop smiling for a full hour. That's how much. Listen, because we lost Tommy Kahnle in the bullpen now. We lost Tommy Kahnle in the bullpen. So they're kind of missing that huge spark that Garrett would provide. Short arm is more stress on the elbow. Is that true? Because I read that he used the short arm to put less stress on the elbow. I don't know. I'm no doctor. I have no idea. I miss CeCe too, bro. I think in 2020 we really realized how much CeCe actually provides in the clubhouse. He genuinely just provided a spark. It's not only a spark, but leadership as well. CeCe would lead the troops into war every single night. Heard Yankees want to switch hitter or left bat. Yeah, but when the Yankees say that, they're just all right, well, we got Hicks already, and then we're just going to re-sign Gardner, and then we're set. It sucks, but whatever. Talk about Tommy Kahnle. He also went to the Dodgers. That's very true. That is very true. He's not going to pitch this year, I don't believe. But 2022, he'll be with the Dodgers. Which, I mean, Jesus. The Dodgers are awesome. Unhinged Dodgers coming soon. Noah Wilson's a free agent, but have Familia. Yeah, Familia's trash, though. And they still have Betances, I think, too, right? I mean, yeah, that Mets bullpen isn't too good. CC for manager, I would love CC for manager. I don't really see it happening anytime soon because I know he said like he wants to like take some time and just chill. But give it maybe like 10 years, CC would be an amazing manager. I could definitely see him getting like the itch to be back in the game too. I mean, he would be an awesome manager. Do we think there was any collaboration between Nightingale and Bauer? I don't know if Bauer's really like the biggest Nightingale guy, so I don't know if he would be interested in like. Also, I don't know why Nightingale would want to like ruin his reputation like that. I don't know. I mean, he already didn't really have a great reputation as far as like sources and reporting stuff goes, but now he's just really down bad. He's not really short arming. It's more like he's not pulling back as uncomfortably far. Less stress on the elbow. He worked with sports psychologist. I can't pronounce that word. He's smart. Yeah, no, listen, I'm sure whatever Tyone is doing is definitely better for his arm and better for preventing injuries. But yeah, I genuinely don't know anything about that stuff. CC would be a good bench coach. He would be a great bench coach, but I think he would be a better fit as manager. When Aaron Boone's all gone, I don't know, maybe CC steps in. Just saying. They said they were going to trade Betances and Familia to clear money for Bauer. Well, where's that now? And who's even taking those guys? Like, they're not getting any sort of anything in exchange for them. Like, I don't know what a team would give up for Dellin Betances at this point. The dude definitely had at least, what was his ERA last season? Because I know he had an absolutely brutal year. Dellin Betances. I kind of miss, like, dominant Betances. All right, Dellin Betances 2020. Yeah, he had a 7.71 ERA in 15 games. He was brutal. Not good whatsoever. Dodgers are the Yankees of the West Coast back when George was alive? Yes. Yeah. And listen, the Dodgers have the potential to be building a dynasty right now. If they win the World Series this year, who knows? Who knows what's coming in the future for them? Because then you know for sure Bauer's not opting out. There's no chance if the Dodgers win the World Series in 2021 that Trevor Bauer opts out of that contract, especially with $45 million left on the table. So then they might lose Kershaw, but still, they still have Bauer going into 2022. I always want a Jorge for manager, but CC would be fantastic. Yes, I agree. Jorge would be a solid manager too. I'm not a big fan of Boone. I think you guys know this. I am not a big fan of Boone whatsoever. The whole team is doing goat yoga. Are they doing goat yoga? Is that true? Because I saw that like Judge and Stanton were taking up yoga, but like I know of goat yoga. Only wait. Let me take a sip of water. I know of goat yoga because I don't know if you guys know like those Barstool Pizza reviews. But I was watching like one of those Barstool Pizza reviews. There's something on there about goat yoga. Apparently, like people do yoga with goats. Are the Yankees doing goat yoga? There's no way. There's absolutely no way. But I heard of it, though. Oh, no, it's not true? Okay, I guess they're just doing regular yoga. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing goat yoga. Because apparently it's a thing that a lot of people do. I don't even know what that means. Bauer can opt out after each season. Yeah, Anthony. Yeah. I missed the Betances in his prime, to be honest. I missed 2017 Yanks. They were so exciting to watch as well as 2018 Yanks. That 2017 was amazing. 2017 Yankees were just remarkable. They were never out of any game. They didn't even have the best players either, but they just vibed so well. Like, I think that team just goes to show like how chemistry can sometimes battle over talent. Because that 2017 Indians team on paper was much better than the Yankees. Much better than the Yankees. But the Yankees just had the heart. They were down 2-0. They fought back and they won the series, and then they only lost to the Astros because they were cheating. I mean, in Yankee Stadium, the Yankees pummeled the Astros. Pummeled them. So who knows where the Yankees could have gone that year if the Astros weren't cheating. It sucks to say, but is anyone a fan of Boone? Come on now. Believe it or not, Boone has some fans out there. If you're a Boone fan, let me know in the chat. I won't roast on you, but like everyone has their own right to their opinion, but I'm sure there's some Boone fans out there. I would take practically anyone over Boone. I never wanted him, even during the hiring process. I agree. I agree. Boone was definitely not the best fit, but I do think that the Yankees wanted somebody who they can kind of, I don't want to say manipulate, but someone who will feed into like all their analytically driven techniques and whatnot, and I think Boone was that guy. I know it won't happen, but to get over the Dodgers, I want Castillo and Amir on Yankees. If the Yankees make a deal for Luis Castillo and Amir Garrett, I would then say the Yankees are the best team in baseball. Definitely. Definitely. I could count on one hand the amount of games Boone's trash management losses last year. I would agree too. We roasted him all season, and it's safe to say that Aaron Boone costed the Yankees at least 5 games. There was just a lot of boneheaded decisions there where they just didn't make sense. Like, I remember a game very, very early on in the season that Judge bailed them out on. And Jonathan Loaizaga, like, he was running out of gas. Boone threw him out there for a third inning. He gave up, like, a bomb. We all saw it coming. But then Judge saved, like, with a home run or whatnot. But there were so many instances. Even in the playoffs, Boone was an awful manager in the playoffs. He costed them so many games. Like, he almost costed them Game 2 of the wild card series. And then Game 5 of the ALDS was so poorly managed. It was just unbelievable. I mean, from throwing Chapman out there in the 7th inning, stupid. When you know that 3 righties are coming up, especially Brosseau, you just don't do that. Just bring in Chad Green. And then the fact that you bring in Mike Ford to pinch hit for Higgy, knowing that you then have to bring in Gary to catch, it's stupid. Especially Mike Ford over Clint as pitch hitting when Ford hasn't had a live at-bat for a month. Just don't even get me started with Boone, bro. It makes me mad being the Yankees could have gone to the World Series in 2017. I had World Series tickets for 2017. I bought them after Game 5 because I was like, yo, like, it's definitely happening. Obviously, I got a refund, but, like, shit. Imagine. I just want to see a World Series, bro. Oh, 2017 was the year. Now I'm depressed thinking about it. I want another reliever too, Anthony. I want Trevor Rosenthal. Or Amir Garrett. Mainly Amir Garrett, but I think Rosenthal is a more logical option at this point. Only moment of Boone I like was 2003 when he hit the game-winning walk-off. Yeah, I think that's what everyone liked. That's probably why he got the job, too. He can't manage the pen. He cannot. Do not fuck with Johnny Lasagna. Derek. Yo, what's going on, Derek? Yo, shout out to Derek for this background I got going on. I definitely cannot make that on my own. He's got, like, the little, like, Yankee videos going on in the background. Solid stuff. Love it. David Cone would have been better. David Cone would have been a solid option. To be honest, I thought David Cone was going to be the Yankees pitching coach prior to signing Matt Blake. I thought David Cone would have been a perfect fit. Game 2 of the ALDS was also poorly managed. Yes. Oh, my God. How did I forget about Game 2? How do you throw Jay Happ in there in the 2nd inning? Like we literally punted Game 2 of the ALDS. Punted it. Come on. 2017 was the most fun Yankees team in the 21st century. Derek, I would agree. Even more than 2009. That team was just so much fun. Like I said, they didn't really have like the same amount of talent as some of these other teams, but they just had the chemistry and the heart. It was just so much fun to watch. Derek the Legend, love your channel. Yeah, Derek's channel is awesome. If you guys aren't subscribed to Derek, definitely go do so. Who will the Yankees have to give up from Garrett and Luis Castillo? If you're asking who the Yankees have to give up for Amir Garrett and Luis Castillo, it would probably be an absolute haul. I would assume Clint would have to go in that deal. We're probably talking like Clint, Devi, maybe like Andujar, and then throw in maybe like 2 other prospects, like an Albert Abreu or something. But it would take a haul to get those guys. Hashtag shout out to Derek, hell yeah. Sorry to break it to you, Pat. There's no Yankee clips in the background. Yes, there is. No, there literally is. If you look like closely, like look right here. You guys don't see that? Come on. You're telling me you don't see the little highlight very, very vaguely in the background. Yeah, you see it. It's just really dim. That's the whole point. It's there, but you don't know it's there. There you go. Let's see. Give me a month after being swept by the Dodgers, and I'll have been thrilled we got to the World Series. Listen, I hope we get to the World Series, but nothing's guaranteed in baseball. It's not even guaranteed that the Dodgers are going to make the World Series. So listen, I'll take a 7-game series with the Dodgers and press our luck just to get to the World Series and have a chance. I just want to be able to have a chance to win the World Series. I don't want to see another ALDS exit because then I might cry. No joke. Like, this year, for some reason, I had a feeling we weren't beating the Rays at all. I went into that ALDS with zero expectations. After we won Game 1, I was kind of a little more confident. Same way in the 2019 ALCS. After Game 1, I was like, shit, we're actually going to beat the Astros. We all know what happened there. But listen, just get me to the World Series. Like, let me feel like we have a chance to win it all. Let's see. Feel bad for those who missed the Yankees dynasty in the late 90s. Great teams. Yeah, I feel bad for myself, too, for not being born until 2000. Like, damn. I really miss greatness. Because the first MLB season I remember watching was either like 2006 or 2007. I remember vividly watching the 2007 ALDS when Jabba had like the bug situation going on. That was brutal. And then 2009, I remember them winning the World Series. But I kind of took it for granted because I thought that's like what the Yankees were supposed to do. And like they were going to do that every year. But whatever. Clearly, they don't do it every year. What up, Derek? Have a feeling Cressy Sports might help the Yankees' future free agent. Listen, a lot of talk about Cressy. Cressy Sports. I'd love to see Kluber, Tyone just dominate next year. Hopefully they could stay healthy. Hopefully. I wanted David Cone so badly to either become the manager or pitching coach. So did I. I like David Cone is probably the only person in the Yes booth that I actually like. Not a big fan of Kay. Not a big fan of O'Neill. But I love David Cone. I think he's an awesome part of the commentary team. Dodgers don't care. Spend. Yeah. No, basically. Like, they genuinely don't care how far over the luxury tax they go. They're $30 million over now. They're going to be paying a boatload of taxes. They don't care. They just want to win. And shout out to them for that. Cleveland should name themselves after the midges, after those bugs. Yeah, the Cleveland midges. Shout out to them. They won them the 2007 ALDS. I mean, I'm pretty sure they got smoked by the Red Sox in the ALCS. But yeah, those midges, clutch as hell. Movie now. We can go after Kyle Hendricks. I would love Kyle Hendricks. I thought it was a very likely option before Tyone. I don't know how likely it would be now. Maybe like mid-season, it's possible. But yeah. Is this Boone's final year? It is the final year of his contract. He didn't sign an extension this year as far as I'm concerned. So, listen, he might be done. He might be done after this year. If the Yankees don't at least make it to the ALCS, I would say he's definitely gone. Definitely. I've got to fly. Thanks for the chat, yo. Yo, peace out, Bill Strader. Appreciate you for stopping by. Really do. Out of the Yankees booth, I like Flaherty, Cone, O'Neill, and Singleton. Yeah, I like all those guys. Just take out O'Neill. Not a big fan of O'Neill. O'Neill can go stay in his basement by himself. I would agree. Yeah, I mean, there was way too much basement chatter going on this season. It was so annoying. Like, O'Neill, I get it. Like, you're in your basement. Like, you don't have to mention it 50 times a broadcast every game of the year. Maybe, like, the first game of the season, you can mention it a little bit. Kind of funny. But, like, it was every game, every second of every game. Oh, I'm in my basement. Like, we get it. Like, oh, I just had tacos. O'Neill, we get it. It wasn't funny at all. In 2007, Cleveland blew a 3-1 lead against Boston. Did they actually? That 2007 Boston team was fire. And then that was the year they beat the Rock. Did they sweep the Rockies in the World Series? I think they did. I had a shit fit after the 2019 ALCS game. Fuck Altuve. Same. I didn't even have a shit fit. I was just pissed. I remember just sitting on the couch like this. I'll reenact it, actually. Watching it, right? I thought Chapman was going to get Altuve out. We're going to go into extras, whatever. Altuve hits the home run. I didn't even watch the ball land. Shut off the TV. Sat back on the couch like this. And that was it. I probably sat there for a good 10 minutes just reanalyzing life. Only guy I want to replace Boone would be Conor A-Rod. A-Rod would be a fun manager, but I think he has way too much going on in like his real life to be manager now. Maybe further on down the line, but I can't see him being a manager at the moment. I think David Cone can be funny once a week. Yeah, David Cone's a cool guy. That part was annoying, but I'm talking about his whole career since I've been watching with the Yankees. I think he hasn't been bad than prior to the season. Yeah, no, prior to the season, I never really had an issue with him. I guess K2 to a point. I just think this season, for some reason, it kind of like, I don't know why. I just got annoyed with them. I don't know. Yeah, Kenny Lofton had terrible base running in Game 7. Kenny Lofton, oh my God, I forgot about that dude. But yeah, I do think that's going to wrap things up for us tonight. I will show you guys how Brandon reacts, for sure. But yeah, that's going to wrap things up for us today. I think we are going to be going back live like later on tonight at like 8 or 9 for Unhinged Talk. I'll let you guys know about that. Regardless of that, though, we are going to be live on Twitch later. regardless if I do Unhinged Talk again later. Twitch.tv/Unhinged New York. Not sure what we're going to be playing. I actually bought a couple new games last night, so maybe we'll do like those. Maybe we'll play a new game or something. But yeah, bottom line today, Trevor Bauer is a Los Angeles Dodger. Got an absolute payday, 40/45 million over the next 2 years. Awesome stuff. Altuve had a buzzer. I'm not going to put it past him. Very possible. I know they denied it, but just saying. But yeah, appreciate everyone for stopping by. Went almost an hour. Hope to see some of you later. Maybe on Twitch, maybe back on YouTube or Facebook. Appreciate you all, and have a great day. Peace.